trusted news source, ABC6 News at Noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Carolyn Azak. Thank you for watching your news at noon. And as we take a look outside, look at that. The rain has stopped and I'm too happy about it. We're going to check in with ABC6 Storm Tracker meteorologist Skylar Spindler. She's here with your first forecast. Skylar, welcome. Second day doing the noon.
Yeah, second day here. And you know, I am glad, like you said, it's starting to clear up outside. So most of that drizzle that's going to start to move out. We have some pockets of dry air moving in. That's going to make those clouds part ways. So that's something to look forward to here at the noon hour. Current conditions outside in Providence, 40 degrees. It does feel like it's 34 degrees, but that's going to change as we get into the afternoon. Here's a look at our weather headlines. We are clearing up today. This next system that we do have moving into the area will be arriving after 7 p.m. tomorrow, but through the weekend, that's going to be a little bit of a rainy, wintry mix. So we're mostly looking at more icier conditions, say north of 90, as you're heading north into the Mass area. So satellite and radar, here's a look at those pockets that we see on the map. So you can see those clouds really starting to part ways, but visibility starting to increase better. You see out, it's 10 miles visibility in Kingley. And you can see that's just going to start to move from west to east across the area. So again, we will start to clear up as we get into the afternoon. Temperatures currently, well, a lot of us are in the 40s. New Bedford coming in at 53 degrees, so a little bit of a warm spot here. But overall in the area, those upper 30s and low 40s for the afternoon right now. Hour by hour to get you into your afternoon and evening commute home. We are going to warm up. We're going to be flirting with the 50s for today. So you can see we'll be at about 49 degrees by 3 p.m. and then we'll start to taper off into the overnight, into those cooler temperatures overnight. But I'm going to have that full forecast and what to expect for the weekend coming up here in just a moment.
Great, Skylar, thank you. Love that you just said flirting with the 50s. Anything with 50s, I'm liking over here. All right, some local stories making headlines this afternoon. A warning from Rhode Island DEM, don't fish from the Blackstone River from Cumberland Hill Road in Woonsocket to the Slater Mill Dam in Pawtucket. That warning comes after the DEM looked into a discharge of partially treated wastewater coming from the Woonsocket Regional Treatment Facility. If you can believe it, it was a video post on Twitter that sparked the DEM's initial interest to check it out. And that treatment plant is operated by a private contractor and treats 10 million gallons of raw sewage daily. The DEM says the plant also made 2 unpermitted discharges last year that are already under investigation, one in March and then another in June. And an indictment in a Charlestown murder case, 26-year-old Alex Rowland is now charged with murder. Rowland is accused of stabbing a 45-year-old woman in her bed with a hunting knife. This took place back in September, and Rhode Island State Police say Rowland confessed to that he did it. Rowland will be arraigned later this month in Washington County Superior Court. And a man is dead after getting hit by a car at an intersection in Plainville, Massachusetts last night. The man is in his 40s and has not yet been identified. It happened at the intersection of Taunton Street and Shepherd Street, and first responders rushed him to Sturdy Memorial Hospital, where he later died from his injuries. Police say the driver of the car remained on scene and is cooperating with police. No charges have been issued against the driver as the investigation of the accident is ongoing. ABC6 with a focus on our schools. Governor McKee, along with other school officials, announcing funding for multilingual learners across 10 school districts. $8 million is set aside in the budget for that, and according to the governor's office, 24,000 students who speak over 100 languages make up 16% of the student population in the state.
Because what also happened in the past, it was this thought that if you didn't know the language, we'll give you 2 grade levels below, and that would actually open up your opportunities. But we know that if you're giving 2 grade levels below, you're actually teaching 2 grade levels below, right? So it is those tenets that we want the districts to be able to follow.
The Education Commissioner said some districts may need to add staff members to cover the curriculum. And taking a look over at political news, U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland testified in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee on Wednesday. Among the hot topics, the DOJ's reported investigation into Ticketmaster after the Taylor Swift debacle, and gun laws and the fentanyl crisis. Rhode Island Senator Sheldon Whitehouse is on that committee, and he asked the Attorney General about climate change.
Methane is probably one of the most dangerous greenhouse gases. We see plumes of it miles long floating across the United States. It takes multiple levels of enforcement, federal, state, local, and private, to address these massive leaks. What can you tell me you are doing to assure that there is that coordinated multi-jurisdictional enforcement operation in place?
You are exactly right, and we now have the benefit of overhead commercial satellites, which are able to actually see methane with respect to the infrared spectrum.
The AG went on to say that the DOJ is in the process of establishing a working group with other departments to make use of new scientific tools and funding from the Infrastructure Act to address Senator Whitehouse's concerns. And a Pennsylvania man is due in court this afternoon, a day after he was arrested, accused of packing explosives into a checked bag at Lehigh Valley Airport. ABC's Morgan Norwood is in Allentown with more.
This afternoon, we're learning more about a Pennsylvania man's attempt to allegedly take explosives onto a plane. The FBI says an explosive device was found inside one of these rolling suitcases belonging to Mark Muffley. He's seen here lugging them inside Pennsylvania's Lehigh Valley International Airport. Chad Ege is a part of the bomb squad that responded to the scene.
It was concealed within his luggage. He put some effort into that.
Authorities say Muffley was flying to Sanford, Florida on Allegiant Airlines and checked the suitcase, which triggered an alarm as it went through TSA screening, indicating it contained a suspicious device. Investigators say they found a circular compound, approximately 3 inches in diameter, wrapped in wax-like paper and clear plastic wrap hidden in the lining of the baggage. The FBI says X-rays of the device showed it contained a granular type of powder, consistent with a commercial-grade firework, and that it had multiple fuses attached, including one designed to ignite quickly. Investigators say the bag also contained a can of butane and a lighter.
From my experience and training, it was not a sophisticated device, but could still inflict a lot of damage or harm to people.
Sources familiar with the investigation tell ABC News that while the device contained flammable explosive components, it was not operational, and someone would have needed to somehow enter the cargo hold in order to detonate it. And even if there were no plans to detonate, the device was dangerous on its own. The criminal complained alleging the device was susceptible to ignite from heat and friction and posed a significant risk to the aircraft and passengers.
There's always a risk of anything of any size going off in an aircraft.
And right now, authorities are combing through Muffley's background. So far, no obvious ties to terrorism. I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Lehigh Valley International Airport.
Still to come on ABC6 News at Noon, closing arguments continue in the murder trial of Alec Murdaugh. On the latest on his trial as it's winding down. ABC6 will be right back after the break. Nothing. I didn't say anything. Welcome back. It's 12:10. Let's take a look at national news. The Alec Murdaugh trial is coming to a head, and the defense is now making their final case, trying to convince a jury the once powerful lawyer in South Carolina's Low County didn't murder his wife and son. Once the prosecution gets a chance to respond, the jury will deliberate. ABC's M. Wen is at the courthouse in Wattleboro.
Jurors soon to weigh the fate of disgraced lawyer Alec Murdaugh, accused of brutally killing his wife Maggie and youngest son Paul. Today, the defense's last chance to convince the jury he didn't do it.
Even if the financial day of reckoning was impending, if it was right there, Alec would not have killed the people he loved the most in the world. There's no evidence that he would do that.
It comes after the prosecution's closing arguments and the jury's rare visit to the crime scene at the family's estate, where Murdaugh claims he found his wife and son shot dead. Taken there at the dog kennels, a video the night of the murder, just minutes before investigators say Maggie and Paul were killed. Witnesses saying they heard Murdaugh's voice in that video. After denying being there for months, Murdaugh admitted days ago he was there.
Why in the world would an innocent, reasonable father and husband lie about that?
Murdaugh testifying he was scared police would suspect him, adding his opioid addiction caused him paranoia.
I would never intentionally do anything to hurt either one of them.
The state arguing the fourth-generation lawyer committed the murders as a last-ditch effort to preserve his legal legacy and gain sympathy, just as his law firm was on the verge of uncovering millions of dollars worth of alleged financial crimes.
Fooled Maggie and Paul, too, and they paid for it with their lives. Don't let him fool you, too.
One juror this morning had to be replaced after it was determined that she had been talking about the trial with her friends. Now, once deliberation actually begins, it could take the jury anywhere from hours to days to reach a verdict. The judge saying they're prepared to stay through the weekend if they have to. M. Wynn, ABC News, Walterboro.
And still to come on ABC6 News at noon, SpaceX launched 4 people into space. The successful launch right after this.
Five, four, three, two, one. Engines full power and liftoff of Crew 6. Go Dragon, go Falcon.
I can watch that video over and over. So cool. A crew for SpaceX and NASA is spending their first morning in outer space. The company and the space agency launched their latest mission with the Crew 6 team to the International Space Station overnight. This launch followed a failed attempt on Monday, and the 6th joint crew rotation mission between SpaceX and NASA is a part of NASA's Commercial Crew Program, which sends the agency's astronauts to the ISS on a private spacecraft.
Well, let's take a look outside at Block Island. A little bit different outside here. The visibility is starting to clear up, but Providence seeing much better visibility right now. Here's a look at around the area. 7 miles visibility in Providence right now, but as you move further to the east, you can see that about a half a mile visibility all the way out in Chatham. Here's a look at the temperatures around the area. We are in most of us in the 40s right now, some of us in those upper 30s. And then we got a little pocket of warm air at New Bedford, 53 degrees right now. But again, we're going to warm up this afternoon and top out in those mid 40s for the day. So here's a look at the storm tracker radar. So we had those storms that moved through. It wasn't really storms. It's mostly like light drizzly rain that moved through the area with a couple of pockets of heavier rain at times. But most of us just saw some drizzle all morning and some low-lying clouds gave us some of that fog outside. Now that we've had that patches of dry air kind of move in, you can see here on this map that black where you're really starting to get some of that parting waves of the sky. So hopefully some of us will start seeing a little bit of sunshine later on. Futurecast moving into tomorrow evening. That's when the system from the low pressure system from the Ohio River Valley is going to start to inch towards our area. And that's going to move into the Friday overnight hours. You can kind of see this little bit of a rain snow line starting to set up right over central Providence and just to the northern portion of our state. But again, most of any of the wintry mix is mostly going to stay to the north. So we're not going to rule out any ice just yet. But again, most of this is going to just end up turning to rain as those winds kind of push up some of that warmer air from the ocean. And that's going to give us more of that rain mix as we get into the afternoon. That's going to get us into Friday. It's going to linger around for that day, Friday, but it'll start to clear up. So by the time we get into Sunday, you'll see we'll just have some clouds lying around for the afternoon. So Futurecast winds, this is really important because we're going to start out fairly light, breezy winds. But as we get into the evening and the system does start to move in, you see those winds. Now, these are sustained winds, so these winds will start to increase throughout this system as it moves into the area. So some of us could even see up to 29 miles an hour winds, such as in Martha's Vineyard and Block Island, 34 miles an hour. So if you plan on getting around the ocean or near it, well, use caution because those winds will be kicking up as this system blows through into the early hours of Saturday morning. But then they'll eventually start to calm down by the time we get into Saturday night. So those winds, those sustained winds will stick around through the day. But hour by hour today, let's get you through the commute home. We're looking at 49 degrees by 3 p.m. As we move into the evening hours, 46 degrees at around 5 p.m. Cooling down 38 degrees around 9 p.m. tonight. The forecast will get down to our overnight low of 31 degrees. The skies will be clearing up. Much better news that we're looking forward to here. Winds out of the northwest at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Tomorrow's highs around the area for our Friday. Most of us will be sitting in the 40s for the high. And that's a bit of a change until that system starts to come through and change our 7-day forecast. So again, that next round of rain is going to move in tomorrow evening about after 7 p.m. That's really going to just turn mostly to rain in the overnight hours. Anybody in the northern counties, you're going to see in higher elevations, you could see more of a wintry mix. But as of right now, we're looking more of that just pushing into being mostly a cold rain. Winds do start to pick up on Saturday. We'll have a high of 40. By the time we get to Sunday, good news, nothing on that little space bar right there. 44 degrees for the high. We're going to see some sunshine. And then Monday, 50 degrees. And we'll start to see some rain showers possibly popping in on the overnight hours of Monday night. But that should round out this forecast to get us into Monday.
Thanks, Skylar. I'm just happy to not see any snow on that 7-day forecast. Thanks. Still to come on ABC6 News at Noon. Pandemic food assistance is coming to an end, leaving many wondering how they will afford groceries moving forward. Plus, repossessing self-cars. Yes, it's a thing. Find out which car brand is making this happen right after the break. Stay with us. Oh, I said, are you guys giving times in the IFB? I didn't hear that, no. Thank you. Okay, cool, thanks. Welcome back. It's 12:22, and let's take a look at consumer news. It's going to get harder for millions of American families on food stamps to afford groceries. On Wednesday, additional benefits allocated the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, ended nationwide. Lawmakers voted to end that additional emergency funding last month, 3 years after they approved it during the COVID-19 pandemic. Recipients will be getting a reduced amount, an average of about $90 a month, less in benefits.
It's a big impact no matter what age group you're looking at. And with the allotments going away, people will be back to an average of only $6 a person a day for food. That's what the SNAP allotment is.
The USDA recommends applying for other food and nutrition services if you qualify, like the Summer Food Service Program. And there's also WIC, the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for women, infants, and children. And Ford has applied for a patent for technology that lets vehicles repossess themselves. If owners ignore warnings about missed payments, the system starts with disabling features such as GPS, air conditioning, cruise control, and the radio. And it could emit irritating sounds when the driver is there. Next, it could even lock the owner out. If the owner still doesn't act, the vehicle may drive itself to a spot for a tow truck to pick it up. And still to come on ABC6 News at noon, a Missouri man's daughter secretly becomes his donor. More on this heartwarming story right after the break. Welcome back. It's 12:26. A Missouri dad has a brand new kidney thanks to his daughter, and she kept the entire process a secret because if he knew, he would have never allowed it. Delaney Ivanowski had the idea over a year ago when her father was diagnosed with an immune deficiency. Her father, John, was completely against it, so Delaney had to keep it a secret for 8 months. Her secret was revealed on February 16th when she surprised her father at the hospital. John says he's extremely grateful, and now he has a new lease on life. Let's get one last look at the forecast. Here's Skylar.
Well, you know, our skies are starting to clear up right now, so much better than what we saw this morning, but we're going to top out around 49 degrees at 3 p.m. And for your commute home, 46 degrees and clearing skies. But, you know, tonight, 31 will be the overnight. Winds will be fairly light, 5 to 10 miles an hour out of the northwest. And for tomorrow, we're going to start to get up into those mid-40s, some of us even upper 40s for tomorrow until that next system arrives. So that low-pressure system will be making its way towards us again. That's going to bring mostly a wind, or excuse me, not a wind. Well, it will be bringing winds as well, but it will be bringing some rain for us on through the weekend. And as we get into Saturday, it will mostly stay rainy, but as the northern areas, higher elevations, will get a little bit more icier up in that area. But rounding out nice for Sunday.
Thanks, Skylar. Thanks for joining us for ABC6 News at noon. The news will continue here at 4 o'clock. Thanks.